Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Triclaw Gaming's Sunday stream. I know a lot of you have been waiting for a while. You have Fletcher here, obviously. Dane is sat in the corner of the room with me, as he always is. He will be moderating you all and getting rid of your spam messages, should you spam. Um, Naturally, like, comment, subscribe, all the standard YouTube stuff. Um, Now, today's mission is that we're going to try to come up with a better Jurassic Park show. I'm just going to turn my mic volume down a little bit so I'm not deafening you all. So, yes, today's job is to create a better Jurassic Park or Jurassic World TV show than Camp Cretaceous. Because as good as Camp Cretaceous may be, I don't think it's the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World TV show that we all kind of want. So, we are going to come up with our own. Now, I've only got one rule so far, is that we have to have at least 10 episodes in this Jurassic Park TV show. And the rest we'll determine for ourselves. So, the first thing we need to decide is whether we're going to set this in Jurassic World, as in whether it's going to be a prequel to Jurassic World or at some point during the current two films that we have, or whether we're going to set it in the Jurassic Park timeline. So we've already got Dynamommy says Jurassic Park era. Pog is for Jurassic World because it's not completed. Evolution Triangle, Jurassic Park. Leviathan says copy paste Camp Cretaceous Series 3 but make the Scorpius look good. Moosh is for Jurassic Park. I think we've got Leviathan says Jurassic World. Dinosaur King is here as well. Hello, Dinosaur King. Guillermo says Jurassic Park. Seems to be a bit of a fair division here going on. Do we need a poll? Jurassic do we need? No, we don't need a poll, Dane. Jurassic World. Jurassic World would probably work better because there's more room for creativity. Perhaps, I suppose. Jurassic Galaxy seems to be the best in between Jurassic World. Okay, I think people seem to be in regards to Jurassic World. So, Jurassic World era it is. Okay, so if we're setting it in the Jurassic World era, when are we going to set it? Are we going to have it before the events of the first film, during the events of the first film, after the events of the first film, before the events of the second film, during the events of the second film? The origins of Jurassic World, says Dinosaur King. That could be an interesting thing to examine. So that would obviously be a prequel in that case to Jurassic World. Any other ideas? If Leviathan agrees with Dinosaur King before the events of the first Jurassic World film. Guillermo says after Fallen Kingdom, which is another interesting one. Origins of the park. I'd like to see something done on Muerta. During events of end of Jurassic World 1 and beginning of Jurassic World 2, says Evolution Triangle. During the first film but on a different island. Story of Masrani's promise to Hammond. Honestly, I would love to just rewrite Jurassic World, but that's not what we're doing here. No, Stabster, but a later one I am intending to do is rewriting Jurassic Park 3. So I'm sure you'll Like that. We need to do a series before it's tainted by the Jurassic World movies. Laugh out loud. Okay, I think that then is definitely set prior to Jurassic World 1 and exploring the origins of the park. So, character-wise, well, we've already got a few characters already preset. We've got Claire Dearing, obviously, and we've got Simon Masrani. They're obviously the two that we're going to have to definitely have. Okay, before anyone goes crazy, rewrite Owen's character in Claire's introduction. Oh yes, Leviathan, Dr. Wu. Yes, obviously we need to have Dr. Wu as our happy, clappy Asian chappy, and our resident megalomaniac.
I found my job.
Evolution Triangle says add Cabot Finch. Okay, we've got Cabot Finch going in. What if we cover Doctor Wu starting out the creation of the Jurassic World dinosaurs? Okay, that would be something to explore in the plot lines. Predator Gamer has got there first. I was about to ask, should we have any characters from the Jurassic Park movies coming in? So he's already said Ian Malcolm, so we'll have Malcolm coming in. I think it would be quite interesting if we had somebody like Sarah Harding, or maybe Roland Timbo. Ooh, add an older Dodgson as a villain. Right, we got a Dodgson. We got a Dodgson here! Dodgson as a villain. Tim and Lex. I like the idea of Tim and Lex being back. Definitely. Stolas, my IQ isn't big enough to help with this. Don't worry, I'm sure you can have some ideas. You've seen the movies after all. I know you've seen the movies after all, Stolas. What if we had some newcomers as well? Not the actors though, we're not going into that. Maybe cover hunting down these dinosaurs and how they secure steps to add brown. I quite like the idea of having one more, so I think we're going to have Sarah Harding as well. So we've got our character. These are our principal characters, recurring characters. And I suppose we need to think about dinosaurs. We're going to have what are our big name dinosaurs going to be? And let's be stern. We're going to limit it to 10 big time dinosaurs in this series. So
Rexy, Allosaurus, Rudraptor, Spinosaurus.
The old Spinosaurus from JP3. I like that idea, Leviathan. Okay. So JP3 Spinosaurus we will definitely have. Capturing Rexy will be important. Let's try and give Nasutoceratops some love. I like that, Nasutoceratops. They have Nasutoceratops. Dilophosaurus is a must. Okay, we'll have the Dilophos. Shall we make it even better? And shall we have including adult Dilophosaurus? We'll actually have some adult Dilophosaurus in this one. Metriacanthosaurus, Raptors and the T-Rex. Obviously, I want to kind of not have the Raptors in this. I think we should, like, nothing to do with the Raptors, nothing to do with Blue or anything like that, because the Raptors steal so much of the screen time in the other film. We'll have Rexy though, obviously. She's a must. Predator says Majungasaurus. Predator, are you suggesting that just because I hate Majungasaurus by any chance? Homalocephaly from. Oh, okay, we'll have Homalocephaly. Homalocephaly's got to be in there. Myosaura from the first movies. Carcharodontosaurus. Therizinosaurus, says Moosh Gamer. We have to be careful because obviously we want species to be presented on screen that actually show up as well, kind of in the Jurassic Park lore, and Therizinosaurus hasn't really been in there. Herrerasaurus. Ah, yeah, let's bring back the Herrerasaurus from the Telltale game, sure. Microceratus says poor Concavenator, says Levi. I wonder why you think that, Levi. Evolution Triangle says the Ceratosaurus as well. Yeah, okay, we'll have Cerato. I like the fact that we've gone a lot of carnivores here, and not many. So Edmontosaurus. Okay, we'll have the Edmontosaurus show up. Oops, spelling mistake there. Compy, says Moosh. I think we obviously we have to have Triceratops. How many are we up to?
You have one left.
We got one left. Humans.
We need the balance the ecosystem for every pretend herbivores one carnivore.
Should I have the Memenchis? Because obviously we've got some of the dinosaurs from Isla Sorna here, so I quite like the idea of having the Memenchisaurus show up. Memenchisaurus, I think, would be a good big sauropod to have instead of the expected Brachiosaurus. Leviathan Seismosaurus. Okay, that's enough dinosaur suggestions. We've got our 10 there. And we've got some quite good options there. So we have our characters, some of our recurring characters. And we know what our era is, and we're going to explore the origins of the park. So we need to start planning what our episodes are going to be. So episode 1. Shall we assume that by episode 10, so let's assume that in episode 10 that the park is going to be days from opening. So that's where we need to get to through all of these episodes. Let's just episode 2. And I quite like the idea that we're going to have Dodgson and Biosyn being a persistent problem, so I like that idea. We've got a bit of intrigue going on there. And maybe exploring Doctor Wu's sort of turning into this megalomaniac sort of character. Episode 9. Right. Leviathan. So, according to the canon, Jurassic World first opened in 2005. Okay, that's worth pointing out. So we'll just make a note of that. 2005. Right. So the very first episode, and we've got Allosaurus brati suggesting we should call it New Era. I quite like that. Hello there, Neron. So, New Era. So, Act 1. So, what are we gonna open with? What's gonna be, you've got 30 seconds at best to hook new watchers into viewing this series. Well, what are we gonna open with in those first 30 seconds? Of the very first episode. How are we gonna hook our audience? Ian in the courtroom again. Ooh, I like that. As a little throwback to Fallen Kingdom, perhaps. Near on, we have literally just begun the process of writing the story. So, Pog says Rexy being hunted down, construction team getting attacked by a Cerato. I like the idea, Leviathan, mirroring the beginning of Jurassic Park 1 there. Mizrani talking to a dying Hammond as they talk about a park. I like that idea, Dinosaur King. I think we could have that in a later episode, perhaps. Let's throw that in here. Episode 3. So, Mizrani and Hammond talking about the park. I think we'll come back to that.
Could you pin this for later?
I want gore like the knobs. Yes, Allosaurus. So the point is this is going to be a much more adult show. So we're not going to be skinting on the old violence here. And there will be deaths. Make sure to bank on nostalgia grabs and nothing else. Ian in the courtroom and Ametri attacking the courtroom. We should start with something suspenseful to hook the viewers immediately. How about I quite like this idea of the Ceratosaurus attacking the workers. Dodson trying to steal a nest of Allosaurus eggs and his men pissed off the parents. I think we could perhaps, Dinosaur King, have that as how Mr. Dodgson meets his untimely end. Keep a hold of that idea, perhaps. Dodgson should die to a full-sized Dilo. I love that idea, Moosh. So Leviathan says Cerato attacking the workers, it sets up the pop and gives suspense. So Act 1, we're going to assume then in that case we're going to be on Isla Sorna. Isla Sorna. Oh, how about Malcolm in the courtroom as Cerato's attacking the construction? Oh, so let's have. So we open on Isla Sorna, and in the background we have Ian Malcolm talking. From the start of the court case in Fallen Kingdom. And Cerato attack could show Tim and Lex should be married. Moosh, you realise Tim and Lex were related, right? They can't be married. Oh, you mean married separate? I assume you do not mean married together, because that would be problematic.
Fletcher!
God, Moosh. To each other, Moosh, they're related to each other. They can't be married together. Context marriage, ladies and gentlemen. The Cerato attack can be shown why they decide to build on Ubla and not Sona. Injured Mercy is capturing dinosaurs on Sona for the new park and they get attacked by the Cerato. Okay, so. There should be bad guys who want to get the shaving cream from Nedry. Interesting thought process there. Let's keep that. So, we open on Isla Sorna in the dark, midnight on Isla Sorna. Hello, the crafty gamer. Midnight on Isla Sorna. We have the camera flying in. flying into Isla Sorna. In the background, you have Ian Malcolm talking from the start of the court case. What is Ian Malcolm going to be like saying? Like, while we are zooming into Isla Sorna and while we're zooming into Isla Sorna and we're seeing the Injun mercenaries sort of in their little encampment, what is Ian Malcolm going to be sort of saying? What sort of things? Ian could talk about how bad of an idea it is to open back up the island. Yeah, some pretentious BS about chaos like he usually does. How about Alan Grant is the one speaking? Ian says something that would be quoted aka wise. Do the rules against Masrani's movement to build a new park. Okay, I like the idea of him suggesting something. So let's have something along the lines of sort of how many more lives have to be lost before people like you understand these islands? Malcolm should be talking about a past death with flashbacks showing a Cerrato attack. I quite like the idea of Malcolm talking while the Cerrato attack is ongoing on Isla Sorna. Hammond's speech at the end of the Lost World can be a good start of something. We could use that in episode 3 where we have Masrani and Hammond talking. Yeah, how many more lives have to be lost before people like you understand these islands? These theme show monsters should never have been allowed to exist, let alone be protected. You're talking about putting people back into convenient biting distance of these things. Something along those lines. Maybe it's not massively quotable, but something along those lines. Oh blimey, people are moving quick here.
They are. I can't do stuff like this.
They are more than creatures, they are beings. They cannot be controlled. I like that line. We'll have that one as well. They are more than creatures. They are beings and cannot be controlled. I like that line. Well done, eBay Triangle. Your playing God should be in. Let's have that. So they are more than creatures, they are beings and cannot be controlled. What you are doing is beyond playing God. Or, yeah, what you're doing is beyond playing God. I like that. Maybe do I remember my good friend Alan Grant came to this island and was attacked by a giant Spinosaurus. He got out, but some didn't. The crafty gamer. So maybe indicate that Malcolm and Alan Grant have spoken after the events of JP3. I like that. So maybe after we've had this too. So let's have the ooh. Why has it done that? There we go. So next scene. The Injun mercenary encampment. Injun mercenary encampment. Something similar to the Lost World. Have they caught any dinosaurs yet? These mercenaries that have been here. Do we see any captured dinosaurs already? We could cover the Spino like no other show has. I mean, we could have the Spinosaurus being the one that attacks these mercenaries, rather than the Cerato. And then we could use that Ian Malcolm line. We could have that foreshadow what is going to happen. Spino. I just mean sail shot. Spino comes in later. Well, obviously we can. True. Because if Spinosaurus is going to be our big bad guy, could be a good antagonist for sure. Okay, so let's keep it with the Ceratos then attacking. So the Ancient Mercs encampment, something similar to the Lost World. We have a few captured dinosaurs here. Someone could say the nature of the natural order is disorder and chaos. Chaos can any destruction of the old can be increased and bound to the world. I like that as being like the last thing Ian Malcolm says as we end this particular part of the intro. So we'll definitely grab that. I'll just copy this. And we'll chuck that down at the bottom. Oops. Why is that in standard thing? Oh. There we go. We only have 3 dinosaurs on this island, a raptor, a stego, and a baby Spino. Oh, crafty gamer! I love that idea. That we have a baby Spinosaurus being captured, so we don't actually. And that could be the reason why the main big guy Spinosaurus is the main antagonist. If Injun captures a baby Spino and the adult Spino is tracking them down, exactly. I like that. So we have a few captured dinosaurs here. We'll have the Edmontosaurus. Oh, my spelling of Edmontosaurus is terrible. Have the Edmontosaurus, we'll have the Trikes here. And a baby Spinosaurus. Now, this baby Spinosaurus, is it going to look like so? And I've already got my dinosaur folder up to for this. So this baby Spinosaurus, are we going to have it looking like how it does in Jurassic Park 3, for example? With the, this theropodish shape, or is the baby Spinosaurus going to be like the Paleo Spinosaurus that we know and love? What do people think? JP3 Spinosaurus for continuity's sake, says Moosh Gamer. Okay. We could perhaps have like a more accurate Spinosaurus pop in from Doctor Wu maybe at some point later on. Okay. So Spinosaurus looks like the JP3 one.
I'm trying to give you a million reasons why JP3 Spino is best Spino.
Dinosaur King. If the baby is very accurate, then the adult has to be accurate too. Well, we'll get to that. Leviathan says we could show the Juvie as a new clone made by Wu with new DNA. Well, if they're taking this juvenile from Isla Sorna, are we then assuming that Doctor Wu has been on Isla Sorna all of this time? Using dimensional D. We could. So Leviathan says we should assume Doctor Wu has been on the islands all this time. Make it JP3 same, but with completely different colouring, says Eagles. I wonder if we should actually have the adult Spinosaurus look paleo accurate. And then we can have Doctor Wu's genetic tampering later on pop up. So, but let's keep the juvenile Spinosaurus looking like a JP3 one, but with a different cosmetic colouring. Imagine the mercenaries insulting the baby, saying it looks like a Baryonyx or Suko they shot prior before the baby sting. Dinosaur King, that's a bit dark. Leviathan says the adult Spinosaurus should be the one from JP3, so we can figure out why it wasn't in Jurassic World. Okay. Moosh Gamer still keeps going on about beans. If it looks paleo accurate, it probably wouldn't be the best to have it. Wouldn't be the best to have it be the same one as JP3. There's an ongoing argument going on here about whether the Spinosaurus should be paleo accurate or not. I like it, but let's get.
Because you're a nerd.
Let's get past this for the time being, and let's move on. So we have the captured dinosaurs from the mercenary encampment. Let's also have like the new Jurassic. So the new Jurassic World logos. So that's the Silver Rex on the blue background. On all the Jeeps. And Chinook, etc.
Sure.
Yes.
Want the list.
Want the list of what? Oh, right, okay. I'll just copy and paste it in, because I don't want to have to keep going up and down.
If I really copy and chat, and every time someone asks, I can paste it for them.
That's exactly what I'm doing. There's the dinosaur list, everyone. The baby Spino should be the jungle skin from Evolution. I just realised that I'm 5 minutes behind. Nearon, the latency shouldn't be that much. It should only be about 10 seconds.
It depends on their internet as well.
Ah, right, okay. Maybe the Spino GB could have a little bit of a different crest shape. Okay, we'll have a different crest. Oh, I like that. So, we have a sudden screaming, sudden gunfire. Sudden gunfire as opposed to that gradual gunfire. Sudden gunfire from the forest that startles all the mercenaries. Fletcher pin that message to the stream. How do I do? Oh, there we are. There we go. Crafty Gamer, we are not talking about the raptors at all in this one. And we just have Rexy as the Rex at the moment. But no, so we've got sudden gunfire from the forest themselves or the mercenaries who cut to Another mercenary, clearly running for his life. I think it would be quite good to have like a little hint to the Lost World here. So have him run through the remains of the worker village from the Lost World. Maybe we go past a raptor skeleton somewhere, or just trying to remember that scene in the in the Lost World, and they're in the worker village. Yeah, the raptor falls on those spikes, doesn't it? It's clearly dead because gymnastic girl kicks it out the window. So but we don't know what's chasing him yet. They have Herrerasaurus attacked a farmhouse. We don't yet. Everyone's getting ahead of themselves at the moment. We're still talking about literally the first live action neuron for this one. This will hurt me saying this, but what if there was a flashback on the origins of the baby Spino and he or his parents killed the doe and buck rex to take their territory, proving ecosystem destruction? No, Dino. We are not going to have Spino on T-Rex violence, or at least not Spino killing T-Rex. This is not a repeat of Jurassic Park 3. Tut tut. The birdcage. Oh, wait. I'm responding to their ideas. So stop chuntering from a sedentary position.
But you're cussing at people instead of reading.
I quite like the idea of having the birdcage. So, like, have a silhouetted shot of
Evo!
the Evo is literally here. Oh my god! Have a silhouetted shot of the birdcage. With the moon behind it. Maybe a few flying pterosaurs. Also, I can't type for toffee today. Silhouetted. So we've got the shot of our random InGen mercenary, clearly running for his life from something through the old Lost World worker village. You see the dead velociraptor from the Lost World. There we have a silhouette of the high ass voice Fletcher LMFO. Yes. Let's chill, folks. So we have our fellow running away, and we see the birdcage silhouetted behind him with some pterosaurs flying around, and the dead raptor, that gymnastics girl whose name completely loses my. Was it Kelly? I want to say Kelly. I can't remember the Ian's kid from the Lost World, that she kicked the raptor out the window and the raptor fell on spikes, and so we're pretty sure that raptor was going to be dead. So we'll have that dead raptor skeleton in there as well as a little link to there. So the bloody mercenary links back up with the few that ran for him. Then we have the cliche roar from behind. Making them all look. I feel like we should have this like cliche scene where like there's a roar from, but the cliche roar of the Ceratosaurus from behind them, and they all look in the direction of the forest, but there's absolutely nothing there at all, and then the forest goes still, and then suddenly the Ceratosaurus comes from behind them and just noms one of them straight away, just like completely out of nowhere, just like complete knowledge, with absolutely no warning.
You know, that's the title of this video.
Is there a title for this? Actually, no, we haven't. We haven't got a title for. We do not have a title yet. We're just going to have. All we've set ourselves on is this is a prequel to Jurassic World 1. So we don't have a title for it yet. Perhaps Evo could think about that and come up with a title for us. Maybe have the Ceratosaurus stand up right next to them and they stumbled onto it. Oh, I love that idea, Leviathan. Like, they're all just standing around looking at the forest, and then, like, the Ceratosaurus just stands up next to them and also kind of sits there looking in the direction of the forest, like, hello. What are we all looking at then? And then Nom's one of them, just like, Titles always come at the end of books, not at the start. So we see
the titles are at the start of the book, not the end.
Mercs looking in the direction of the forest, but there's nothing there. Then Ceratosaurus' head pops into shot, also looking in the direction of the forest, which is not noticed at all until one of the mercs screams at it, and then Nomage. Like, definitely have an on-screen death of this Ceratosaurus killing this guy. Moosh says one Cerato is eyeing the catcher, then wonder. So maybe, the mercenaries are being distracted by this knowledge of this first Cerato. So we pull out with Ian Malcolm saying more things of BS nature. More things about chaos theory. Let's go about chaos theory. As we see other Ceratosaurus in the encampment attacking the mercs and eyeing the captured dinos. And then this beginning little scene ends with Ian Malcolm saying this thing that so it ends with Ian Malcolm at the end saying the natural order. So the natural order is disorder and chaos can't be controlled by humans. History has proven that only destruction of the old can bring peace and balance to the world. So that was literally just the end of the beginning of episode 1. So where do we go from there? So Act 2. What do we open? So we've just seen the mercenaries getting nomaged by title is gonna be nomage.
You do like that world a bit too much.
I do. It's a good word. So evolution square triangle. Oh god, I'm gonna get these two confused. I'm gonna get them both confused now. Evolution triangle says shot on Claire and Masrani after they've just died. Crafty Gamer Rex asks, what does nomage mean? Nomage means eating. So Claire and Masrani. So I like that. So opening shot of. Let's have Claire arriving somewhere off the chopper. So opening shot of Claire Deering arriving off a Jurassic World branded chopper. Claire should die in episode 1. I don't care about the continuity. Oh, Moosh Gamer. Claire falls off the chopper because she's in. Oh, actually, no. I really like the idea. Actually, Evo trying you get. I like the idea of like Claire Deering like going to get off the chopper and almost falling over because she's wearing those stupid high heels, but Masrani catches her or something. And Evo, we're doing sort of one episode at a time, but we kind of have some ideas for later for what we're doing here. I have linked actually Evo, we've linked the dinosaur species we're going to have in this. We've pinned that message, so you might be curious to see which ones we're going to have. Evo's triangle loves my idea. So opening shot Claire Deering, coming off of Jurassic World branded chopper, almost falls over due to high heels, and Masrani catches her.
I haven't seen Neron's thing.
Maybe this show could be like a BBC documentary of the creation of Jurassic World. We could have that in like one of the other episodes, like a documentary team shows up and things like start going badly wrong or something. We could have like that towards the end, so that maybe like the episode before the last episode, so like the documentary crew. That could be like we could have Biosyn, like maybe Biosyn has infiltrated the documentary crew to get to the island. That might be why how we get Biosyn in here. So that's how she's gotten better with her heels. So we have Claire and Masrani. Where is this going to be? Where are they? Are they going to be on Isla Nubla with the park under construction? Are they going to be on Isla Sorna? Are we going to introduce one of the other islands? I quite like the idea of it being one of the other islands, to be honest.
It also gives the most creative liberty.
Ugh. Like, we could maybe refer to Nubla, something being done on Nubla. They could be standing in the Rex paddock as it's being built. Oh, that could be cool. I feel don't add another island yet. Okay, so they're in the standing in the under construction Rex paddock on Nubla. They should be reviewing the islands to open buildings on. What would be the point of them standing on one of the islands and like picking a site B or C? I think Penna would be good. We could maybe introduce Penna somewhere else. Like maybe Biosyn has a secret operation somewhere on one of the other islands. We could maybe think about that. I like the idea of Claire Deering not knowing at all what she's getting into at this point. Like, I love the idea of her like coming to this island and she's like completely dressed, completely like not what you'd wear to a construction site at all.
A gala dress.
Yeah, like she's turned up in like some mental dress or something like that. So Claire has no idea what sort of theme park she is going to be working in. I should actually be writing too, so I'm going to hop off again, have fun in the stream, good luck with the story. Thank you, Eve. What a nice day, falls over. Look, it's nice to have Evo pop in.
I know,
You know, we need all the help we can get. Claire has no idea what sort of theme park she's going to be working with. Maybe she makes like this offhanded comment like, "So what are we keeping in here? King Kong?" Has like just a little throwback reference to Ian Malcolm's line at the beginning of Jurassic Park 1 there. And maybe Masrani could maybe Masrani just laughs at her. So Masrani just laughs at her, and sort of they Ford Explorer rolls by. Yeah, maybe they can jump in a Ford Explorer. So get into a Ford Explorer, Jurassic World branded, of course, though, and start driving off through the construction site. Maybe you should have like a few like half completed buildings, like have like a shot of them going past the innovation center but being like half built. Innovation center, etc. Still think the logo should be different, an old version of the Jurassic World logo. Yeah, but still Jurassic World branded, so but an older logo. But an older logo. It's already started bad for her. She falls off a helicopter. It could be worse. She could have been knowledged by that Ceratosaurus.
Oh my god.
Okay, so maybe at the start they have a different name and logo, and then throughout the show it becomes Jurassic World. Yeah, that would work. Claire gets attacked by compies, and so that's the reason she's a strong hate for dinos as the incident. Well, maybe we could have some sort of incident occurring later on in the show where sort of Claire ends up getting sort of a bit hands off with the dinosaurs. Oh, Dino King, I love that. Claire gets attached to one of the dinosaurs, and at the end of episodes like 8 or 9, the Spino fights and kills it, breaking her heart, and then she becomes a bit cold-hearted towards them. I love that idea, Dino. Maybe we could have that in like... Maybe that could occur due to the biasing thing. Claire Fave Dino Death. Jurassic Park 2 literally no. So Universal took the video down, so we have to redo everything. We're not doing anything copyrighted, Dino. Not bad. Pato kicks. I'm sensing Evolution Triangle may have a problem with not liking Claire Deering very much if he wants her to be kicked by an Apatosaurus across an enclosure.
I think there's been a trauma here. Should we come back for a bit?
A bit of trauma. Anyway, so we're passing them with half-built shots of the half-built innovation center and everything. Where are they going? Maybe since they landed in the Rex enclosure, maybe Mizrani shows. No. Let's have the Memenchis. So they drive to the future location of the gyrospheres. Bison nukes Nubla, everyone dies. Moosh, that's a little excessive, don't you think? Drive to the future location of the gyrospheres. Masrani, and then it's like have a recreation of the JP1 scene, but with Claire and Menchisaurus. To have her like, looking, she and Mizrani get out of the jeep, and we see obviously her looking in awe at these Mamenchisaurus that are in the field and that. Okay, that's it. Come right, no more. I think this is quite enough violence against poor Mystery. we, we've got being kicked by a Batasaurus, falling out of helicopters, being struck by lightning. And I think we're getting the opinion that no one likes Miss Steering. I think
What
we.
did she do to deserve this?
I'm not sure. Maybe the fact that she made the Indorex. I don't know.
Oh, it's her fault.
Yes. Anyway, so we have Masrani sort of introduce Claire to what she's going to be doing, and we have this recreation of the Jurassic Park 1 scene with the Mamenchisaurus. What else do we have in this first episode? It should be sunny and then just a random lightning bolt hits her. that's that's
God,
that's
get
bad.
out of your frustrations.
Cabot Finch meets Claire. Ah, so we've got so I like the idea, Dino Mummy. So we've just had the introduction. So while they are looking out on these dinosaurs, have Cabot Finch show up from behind. So, how is Cabot Finch going to be like? How are we going to have his character? Is he going to be just like exactly the same as he is in Evolution? Like he's just all after the money and has absolutely no clue what he's doing, or is he going to be a bit different? Are we going to have a just copy paste Jurassic World Evolution Cabot Finch? Make him Biosin's inside man. Ooh. Return to Jurassic Park all over again. Yeah, he definitely was a bit iffy in that one, wasn't he? Don't know about making him Biosin's inside man. So, um, might be a bit too obvious. We'll come back to that. But so Cabot Finch is clearly the businessman. So he is clearly the businessman. Just sees the dinosaurs as a source of income. So how's he? How is he going to introduce himself? So you have you've got Claire and Masrani looking out on this field of Mamenchisaurus and clearly in awe and everything else. And Cabot Finch comes up behind them, and what's going to be the very first thing he says? Finch gets killed by the Hermanocephaly because he said that it is harmless.
I don't think it's so much that they hate Claire Deering. I think they just want to murder your cast.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to murder all of my cast of dinosaurs. Hey, I've got a contract for you. He says, hello, I'm Cabot Finch, your boss. I like money. Well, it doesn't really work since Mizrani is the main boss here. Welcome, Miss Deering, to Jurassic World. Oh, that's way too much on the nose, Neron. I feel like he needs to say something that, like, immediately makes it clear that he's just here for the money. And He tries to kill every member of Fletcher's cast. Quite possibly evolution triangle. It's a field of money. I like that, Eagles. Yeah, let's have that. So, so let's have him say, "Yep, that's one big field of money right there." With that characteristic laugh. I'm after Tim next, so you're Claire Dressing. You're the one who's supposed to turn and run this in. Miss Deering, I see you're my new financial partner. That was not correct. It's now Claire Dressing. So we obviously, so this is then obviously Cabot Finch's introduction. What is Claire Deering going to make of Cabot Finch? Like, is she going to be like really obviously sort of cheerful, or is she going to be polite, or is she going to be quite hostile? I feel like there should be like a little bit of hostility there, like Claire maybe turns around and shakes his hand or says something along the lines of, "Yes, I've heard of Mr. Finch before." Claire is going to have... Oh, God, no. There will be no shipping here, Neron. God, no. She's into him fanfic time. Oh, God, Leviathan. No. God, no. Caterpillar pulls out a gun. Okay, Evo Triangle. We get the message. You don't like Claire. That's quite enough. Claire should be polite, but obviously hates him. Okay. Polite, but obviously can't stand him. And I do like that this, like, she delivers, like, this cutting line. Yes, I've heard of Mr. Finch before. And maybe he responds with, so my reputation has preceded me. And then she can respond with something along the lines of like, well, with your sort of reputation, it's difficult not to have heard of you. So we're casting a little bit of shade of what Finch has maybe done elsewhere, and we know that Deering has heard about him, and maybe this could feed into Finch being obviously a biasing agent, or perhaps it could just be you know, a little bit of off-putting for the audience. Say about a better fair business of him. Want to take a kiss contract? Leviathan, good lord, no. With such a big ego, it's hard not to know you. Well, with your ego, it's difficult not to have heard of you. So that is Act. So let's have that as Act 2. So we've had Act 2 as So we meet Mizrani, we meet Claire Deering, we've met Cabot Finch, and we know they're on Nublar and they're building the park, and what is going to be the end of the very first episode? So Act 3 is traditionally the end of the episode. So what's going to be the ending part of this episode? I feel like maybe we need to link it back to what happened at the start. So maybe we could have like like Claire Deering is just like on her own and is maybe like considering Mizrahi's offer of considering Mizrahi's contract, and then maybe Act 3 should be about Mizrahi here having heard about the weird attacks on Sona. Well, the weird attacks on Sona will have happened, I think, sometime before this. Crafty Gamer thinks we should straight away go to them being ambushed by the Spinosaurus in episode 1. It's talking about premature excitement. And yeah, don't worry, Ali, you haven't missed very much. Oh, actually, we should establish Dodgson. Oh my Cabot, you've got such a big contract, oh woo. Leviathan, I swear. And can I uninstall your concavenator if you carry on? And I will change my top 10. Maybe at the very end, like the final scene. Okay, so we'll have the very final scene as like Dodgson showing up. So I feel so Act 3. So Claire Deering on her own, considering Mizrahi's job offer. Maybe she's overlooking a section of the park. Overlooking a section of the park. And maybe we could have like she sees something in the distance being like dropped off, so she sees something in distance, catches her attention, so heads off to investigate. We have a group of workers introducing a new species to its paddock. Now it's finished. And so she's the dinosaur being transported and it's her dinosaur. God, everyone wants like all the action to be right at the very beginning of the very first episode. It's quite alarming. We've got to give time for people for things to build up.
I would give like a way for basically describing what they're trying to do, but I can't because it's YouTube.
Oh, you're right, yes. See you later, Crafty Gamer. Right, yeah, so she goes in and investigates, and she finds out that it's a group of workers introducing a new species to its paddock, so now it's finished. She goes to the like viewing gallery thing, and we see that it's like the 3 Ceratosaurus from the start of the episode. Our Dinosaur King thinks Claire should hear the hooting of the juvenile dilos, but she hears the honk of the adult alpha dilo. See you later, Leviathan. I don't know, Dinosaur King. I think like it would be good to have the Ceratosaurus instead of the dilos, so that we can have like a connection between the start of the episode and the end of the episode. She thinks the viewing gallery looks very expensive. Yeah, so I think we'll stick with the Ceratosaurus. Can we have a Hermanocephaly need? Oh, this. One Cerato should have a leg in its mouth. See you later, Bob. Nobody knows how it got there. I feel like maybe we should just have like one of the Ceratosaurus has like some clear wounds. There's some clear wounds slash gunshot injuries, which makes Claire visibly curious. But that's ooh. And then the glass of the viewing gallery breaks, and then she gets nommed on by the Ceratosaurus. Wow. I feel like this stream should be retitled A Million and One Ways to Kill Off Claire Deering. So that's episode 1, I thought. Episode 2. What are we going to have in episode 2? So episode 3, we know we're going to focus on Masrani and Hammond talking about things. So episode 2, what should we have? Maybe breaking. Not every episode has to have dinosaurs breaking loose and causing chaos. Maybe Claire's sister as a surprise visit. At some point, a dino should be on the loose, and AC should just shoot it a couple of times and bam, problem solved. Actually, I think we could do that for the Spinosaurus that kills Claire Deering's favourite dinosaur. And then that would explain where that Spinosaurus skeleton comes from in the first film as well. Nasuto's do something. Maybe we should bring in one of the characters we haven't yet brought in. We need to bring Dr. Wu in, don't we? We need to bring Dr. Wu in somewhere, somehow. Oh, right, yes, and Dodgson. Right, the very end of the episode. Right, so very end of the episode. We have a shot of Dodgson. What's Dodgson going to be doing? We did have an idea, didn't we? But it was some time ago. Dodgson should be shaving with Barbasol. I like that. Shaving in a mirror with some Barbasol. Looking suspicious. Looking sus. He's waiting for Finch. Episode 2 has Sarah Harding trying to learn about Nasutoceratops as a bull Max. Next day, mistaken Sarah for Herrera and tried to challenge her. What? Dinosaur King, where are you getting these ideas from?
Spray it, hopefully.
Right, we need to introduce Dr. Wu in episode 2. We need to introduce Dr. Wu. What shall we... I think we should meet Wu in episode 4 after the conversation with Hammond. Hammond talks about this lead geneticist Wu, and Masrani and Claire seek him out. Oh, I like that, actually. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll have Wu in episode 4. So... We can have Sarah Harding popping up in episode 2. I think we just need to what? Yes, a cup of tea would be lovely, thank you.
Would you like dessert?
Not while I'm on stream,
Oh.
but I'll have a cup of tea, thank you.
Yeah.
Having a boyfriend is amazing.
You're a moderator.
Ow. He's also a very good moderator.
No, I'm not. I'm terrible.
Maybe episode 2 starts with a beauty shot of the island and Claire walking around. And maybe she bumps into Sarah Harding. And series Dodgers and Gods should get back the lost embryos. Now, the problem with this idea of recovering the lost embryos from Isla Nublar is that by this time they will have already died. The amount of cryogenic stuff inside will have run out. I mean, he does say in Jurassic Park 1 that they would only last, what, 36 hours, I think? So those embryos are dead. There's absolutely nothing that they would be able to use with that old can. Having a pseudo sparring off in mating combat. You should trick Wu into making the Indominus. Oh, I like that idea, Moosh. So the Indominus Rex is actually Dodgson's idea, and Wu just kind of tricks Claire Deering and the rest into agreeing with it. I love that. I like that idea. They could find the bunker from JP1. Yeah, so we are on Isla Nublar, so we can perhaps have locations from JP1 showing up here. Okay, so in episode 2, which doesn't have a name as of yet, so beauty shot of Isla Nublar. Should we have like something like 3 months later show up, so we know that time has passed since the very first episode and everything else? Claire Deering overseeing the construction of the park, literally walks into Sarah Harding. Wait, what timeline is this one? If it was before winter and then the island gets into a sudden cold front and the dinosaur gets agitated by that. God, there's lots of ideas being flung at me here. Right, so Claire Deering has literally walked into Sarah Harding. Why is Sarah Harding here? Or how are we going to explain how Sarah Harding has ended up on the island? We'll have the Hamalocephalus. Maybe we can have the Hamalocephalus show up in this episode. Sarah is here to overlook the dinosaur welfare. So are we gonna say that Masrani has? She's a paleontologist. Maybe she's there for research purposes. Hammond hired her. Sarah. Oh, Harding passed away and she went Sarah to look after them. Sarah can tell Claire about her experience with the Stegosaurus, Rexes, and Raptors. I like the idea that Sarah Harding is here because of Hammond. But then, is Hammond? So I know that he's ill in the Lost World. we don't know for a fact that he's dead by the circumstances of JP3, do we? It's never specifically said in JP3 anywhere that Hammond is dead. So let's say that Sarah is secretly here on Hammond's request to keep an eye on Masrani. But that she doesn't say that, but that is secretly why she's here. When Claire asks why she is here, she just explains that Masrani hired her after as a dinosaur expert after she came highly regarded. And maybe Hammond died shortly after the events of the Lost World. Well, are we sure on that? Because it's never specifically mentioned at all. Like, nowhere do we get confirmation he's dead. Even at the end of the Lost World, we don't have confirmation that he's died. They simply play an interview that they had before. It's never confirmed when he died. All Masrani says is he's fulfilling his dying wish. So we know that Hammond and Masrani must have spoken before Hammond died. So Hammond must still be alive during the events of JP3, at the very least. We are not going to have any bioluminescent Parasaurolophus. That's just stupid.
Sure, it's brutal all the time.
I think we'll have the Homalocephali as her dinosaur. I think that or maybe a Nasutoceratops. Actually, I kind of like the idea of a Nasutoceratops because I can imagine she's really awkward around it. So Masrani hired her as a dinosaur expert. She came highly regarded. Claire quips, "Can you be an expert in cloned animals?" Sarah Harding then explains basically the events of Lost World. So that is Act 1. Nasutoceratops is better, yes, for sure. A helicopter should fly over Claire and Sarah in tow as a trained velociraptor. So velociraptors are not in this at all, Moosh. Sarah says that having velociraptors is a bad idea. That could be the extent of the raptors' involvement in the series. I think if we're going to have the raptors pop up in any way, it should be later on. Wait, what about the Mosasaurus? We know the Mosasaurus was added to Jurassic World after opening Neron, so there is no Mosasaurus at this point. So we have Sarah and Claire speak, and we have Sarah basically talk about the events of the Lost World. Maybe we can have, maybe Sarah could mention something about Ian. Maybe, like mentions Ian in not by name, but as someone she cared about, who ended up. Maybe Ian ended up with like some quite significant PTSD from the events of the Lost World. So maybe Sarah Harding mentions that that just someone that she cared about ended up, um, with PTSD or in some sort of mental unit as a result of the Lost World. Because I feel like this is something that all of the films have ignored. These are all of these characters: Alan Grant, Ellie Sadler, Sarah Harding, Ian Malcolm. They literally survive being chased to death by giant killer dinosaurs, and not one of them has any long-lasting post-traumatic stress disorder or any sort of longer-lasting mental health implications from that. I think that's total bollocks, especially. Pre-existing characters should die in this episode to set the tone for the series. Ooh, whoosh. So yeah, I think it would be a good thing. Like maybe we have an inference from Sarah Harding that Ian Malcolm has ended up with PTSD, because that would have been the second time he's faced off all these creatures, and maybe he's suffered from PTSD as a result. And maybe it's clear that she still has maybe a bit of an old flame for Ian Malcolm, but maybe not much. Maybe Tim or Lex being killed. Killing Sarah Harding might be a bit much, Aloe. And we are still only in episode 2 here. The Menchisaurus are being difficult.
We need her alive for episode 8 or 9 anyway, because of what you guys have proposed.
Yes, true. We need Sarah alive for episode 9. Anyway. The Menchisaurus are being difficult, and Sarah and Claire are there to go check on them, and then they have helicopters right, and Sarah sees the Ceratosaurus and asks, "You have Ceratosaurus?" I'm not sure. I still feel like we need to. So Act 2. What are we gonna have in Act 2? I feel like Act 2 we need to like further characterize Claire Dearing. Like there should be. The episode should mostly focus around Claire Dearing and the establishment of some of the later character traits that we see in Jurassic World. So Ceratosaurus is something she didn't expect, as she knows a lot about Ceratosaurus. Allosaurus, we still don't have a name for this series as of yet. Act 2. So Sarah and Claire have just spoken. Sarah's explained the events of Lost World, given a veiled reference to Jurassic. Given a veiled reference to Ian Malcolm. So maybe I think Act 2 we need to make it clear that there's a faction working against them. So we want Biasin and Dodgson to be a thing. So maybe we should have Act 2 Staff breakout. Tim. The only issue with having Tim and Lex on the islands is like coming up with a reason as to why they're there. We can't just have them turn up to the island. Maybe they should come to the island on Masrani's invitation, but that should be a later episode. Oh yeah, they were there. Oh, right, here's an idea. So, Act 2. We open on the old visitor centre in the north of Nublar. Clearly abandoned. So we then have so we then see some geared up individuals looking around the place. None of them are identifiable. And Nick Van Owen, is he going to be there? No. He was a pretty one-dimensional character, I thought, Nick Van Owen. He's literally just there to present the Greenpeace hippie side of the Lost World arguments, which are already being presented perfectly well enough by Sarah Harding and Ian Malcolm. So no, Act 2. So we've had Claire and Sarah talk, and then we moved to the old visitor centre in the north of Norbler that's clearly been abandoned, and we see some geared up individuals looking around the place. None of them are identifiable, but maybe their gear should bear the sign of Biosyn. Gear has symbols of Biosyn on it. Clear they are looking for something as they move into the old embryo storage area. Have some nostalgic shots here of the Jurassic Park 1 embryo lab, robot arm, etc. etc. Aha. And the figures, check the old storage cylinders, finding them empty, clearly frustrated. Maybe we could have one of them after they find these dinosaurs. Aloe, we have already gone through the dinosaurs we're having in the park. We cut it to 10, I'm afraid. It's a pinned comment if you want to have a look at our list. So, let's have one of them mentions that Dodgson is mad to have thought that any of the embryos could be there still. Making it clear, actually naming Dodgson on screen so that we know that it's actually Dodgson who's involved, and we know that Biosyn is going to be investigation. One just said these guys are terrible spelling. I know my spelling is not good. It's primarily because most of the LEDs on my keyboard have died, so I can't. I cannot touch type very well. Bless you.
Sorry.
No, Dinosaur King, it wouldn't be preserved. They would all be dead. But I feel like we could have the Dilophosaurus pop up. Oh no, that's... Are we going to assume that maybe some Dilophosaurus have survived in the forests of Nublar? Maybe have like a couple of them show up to kill these guys in the old visitor center. Or maybe it just chased them out of the visitor center at least. And we also need to bring the Nasutoceratops into this part, don't we? Dilokillers survived as though many fish eaters and piscicles more than survived instantly. Well, there's nothing to say that we couldn't have. There's nothing to say that we can't have some of the dialects. So the figures are then disturbed by a shrill dilo call from behind them. And they are chased out by a angry spitting dilo. Small dilo. They leave the old visitor center thinking it's safe. And we pan round to see a fully grown adult dilo behind them with several smaller babies. I don't think we should have their deaths on screen. I think we should just leave it as like the adult. Just leave it as them looking around to see the adult dilo and the smaller dilos behind them, and then we should just cut from there. So that we leave the outcome of that instance unknown. We were going to have the Nasutoceratops here, so back at the park. Sarah is introducing Claire to the Nasutoceratops. One of them, so Claire is obviously hesitant to get close or touch them. Eventually, Sarah convinces her to touch one of the Nasuto. One of them clearly develops an interest in Claire, showing lots of attention, which she awkwardly accepts. Claire being kicked by the Apatosaurus is the logo. Oh, for heaven's sake. Dear me. cut with the sound of screaming Dino Army, I assume. Cut with the sound of the Dino scream, frill noise, and then screaming.
A letter was missed. And this is a very important
A
one.
letter was missed, yes. The heroes would have to find a terrifying secret linked to genetics, like Benjamin Lockwood's daughter, for example, test clone creatures, but the tests would have failed and gotten horrible things. Wyvern, we are rewriting, or we are writing our own ideas for a Jurassic World TV show, better than Camp Cretaceous. So Claire Deering is kind of like being convinced to get to know the dinosaurs a little better. In Act 2, we've also got the biasing guys being probably killed. Someone needs to die. There have been lots of suggestions of exactly how to kill off Sarah Harding. Don't worry. Not Sarah Harding, Claire Deering, Wyvern. Don't worry. I can design a logo. 58 Jolly Monkeys, if you want to design a logo which I can use on the thumbnail, I would be all for that. So what's Act 3 going to be? This particular episode hasn't had that much in it apart from mostly character stuff.
Character development is important.
Character development is important. Well, we were going to have, I think Act 3 we should have like I think the episode should end on like the Nasutoceratops following Claire about, or something similar like that. Maybe Act 3 we should have Sarah Harding I quite like the idea of the episode ending actually on Sarah Harding talking on the phone to someone that she then calls like Tim or Lex, so it's inferred that maybe Tim or Lex are also keeping an eye on things. Claire runs off and then Nasuto follows, but Claire trips over and then Nasuto licks her. So now we're shipping Nasutoceratops and Claire Deering, now are we? Evo, triangle. So we know how we. So let's have this as the ending scene. Sarah is on her phone talking to someone about what she thinks of the park. She refers to the individual on the phone as either Lex or Tim. What's going to be Act 3? We've got a solid Act 1 and a solid Act 2. But there's nothing really about either of them that is part of Act 3, so we don't have an Act 3. Just trying to have a think. maybe we could have Act 3, so cut to a shot of Masrani on the mainland somewhere. He's eating at an outside place, like JP1. Only for someone to sit down opposite him, who we don't see. And then let's have Masrani clearly knows who the individual is, and expresses surprise at seeing them. We then hear that person is a grown-up Tim. I feel like we could have it as Ian Malcolm, though. Or even Dodgson. Trying to find Nedry, but oh, Nero, yeah, we'll definitely have that. We could definitely have that in one of the later episodes. Maybe the episode with Wu, find Nedry's body. In the episode with Wu. Dodgson and Masrani. So let's have Dodgson. So, camera pounds to reveal Dodgson. So why is Dodgson here? Is he there to offer Masrani a bribe, or I'm here to make an offer? So he says he's here to make an offer to Masrani, and Masrani will quit back the same that you made to Nedry, which will surprise Dodgson. And then Masrani will... holding at a basket. I think we need to be careful not to do too much. We can't copy JP1, Evolution Triangle. I like the idea of Dodgson coming to offer Masrani, coming to make Masrani an offer. But then Masrani turning around and making it clear he knows all about Dennis Nedry, and knows all about what happened with Dennis Nedry because he had spoken to Hammond. It would be fun to introduce a hybrid. We are not having any hybrids in this one. Well, we might have the hybrids at the very end because the plan is to make the hybrids so Dodgson gives Dr. Wu the idea for the Indominus Rex. The main antagonist dinosaur 58 Jolly Monkeys we're going for is the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. So Masrani will declare that he knows all about what Biosyn are up to with Jurassic Park. And explain that Hammond did quite a bit of digging after the events of that film. Because, like, I feel like Hammond is not the sort of individual who would have just, like, even after InGen, oh, not InGen, what is his bloody name? Oh god, the most hated individual from the Lost World and from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, Peter Ludlow. I feel like even after Peter Ludlow, like, stole the company from him, I feel like, yeah, near on we were going to do that actually. We were thinking about making JP3 Spino an actual hybrid. Get crazy, hello. And yes, Peter Ludlow. So, Peter Ludlow. So, I feel like even after Peter Ludlow stole the company from Hammond, I don't think John Hammond would have just sat back and just not even tried to do some investigation into what happened at Jurassic Park. I think like Hammond would have had enough friends to have done like his own little private investigation in the background, and maybe that's Hammond eventually found out that Biosyn were responsible for what happened to Dennis, and Hammond passed that on to Masrani, which we will see in the next episode. So Hammond did quite a big thing after the events of that film and discovered what Biosyn had done. Dodgson tries to pass it off as just good business practice, but Masrani makes it clear that he has no interest in working with Biosyn. I feel like Masrani could at this point, like, I think Masrani could actually could threaten him. I feel like Masrani could, like, finish eating and, like, wipe his mouth and then stand up and then turn around to Dodgson and say, and if I see any of your people on Isla Nublar, I'll make sure you never get off that island. I feel like he could actually threaten Dodgson. Ludlow is a hoe. To be honest, I hated Peter Ludlow in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. He was always complaining. So Masrani makes clear, leaves table, but threatens Dodgson, making it clear that he will take any action to protect John Hammond's legacy. Definitely mouse cream. Masrani is definitely one of the few that I do have respect for. So, Act 3, so Masrani and Dodgson talk, and Masrani leaves and threatens Dodgson, making it clear he's protecting John Hammond's legacy. And then at the very end of episode 2, we have Sarah talking on the phone to someone about what she thinks of the park, and she refers to that individual as either Lex or Tim. I think it's more like, I think I prefer Lex. I don't think I kind of think that after the events of the film, I don't think Tim is going to be much of a dinosaur guy anymore. So I think we'll have it as Lex. She strikes me as the one who may um, Tim wouldn't have his life together. Probably not. Right. What time is it? It's nearly 9 o'clock. Let's see if we can hash out episode 3, which is Masrani and Hammond, which is our big Masrani and Hammond episode, and then we'll stop it there and we will continue this next time. So, episode 3, Masrani and Hammond. I feel like we should give this like a kind of JP1 sort of title or some description. I did see it, Moosh. Don't worry. I'm just trying to think of like a John Hammondish sort of quote that we can use as a title for episode 3. Old times. "58 Jolly Monkeys" is a Spinosaurus. JP3 Spinosaurus. Ooh, I like that, Moosh. Not the same mistakes. We'll go with that. Not the same mistakes. Ooh, wrong button. Right. So, Act 1. Hammond's estate. Are we going to infer that this is going to have been in the past? So like 1 year ago? Predator, we're trying to get away from having hybrids. Like, we have no interest in hybrids in this. At the most, we will, if we are going to have a hybrid, we will make the Spinosaurus from JP3 an actual hybrid. Or make it clear that it is a hybrid. So Hammond's estate 1 year ago. Masrani is let inside house by the butler. Yes. So Masrani is let inside the house by the butler. He has clear reverence for where he is. He is examining dinosaur fossil, dinosaur skeleton. Let's have a dinosaur skeleton in like the foyer in the hall. What shall we have? Oh, we could have Lex pop in afterwards, but I kind of have an idea. And we don't have a working title yet, Jolly Monkeys. We haven't got a title for it yet. What sort of dinosaur skeleton should John Hammond have in the hall of his house? Anki, Gali. Aloe. Maybe we could have the Velociraptor, actually. Have like a raptor skeleton there. Since the raptors aren't popping up hardcore in the actual episodes. Is then disturbed by Hammond coming down the stairs, talking. I feel like Hammond should say something along the lines of like, what do you think of my specimen? It was a gift from an old employee. Well, no, actually, no, because he was paying for Alan Grant's. He was paying for Alan Grant to dig, wasn't he? But does that make him an employee? Or does that make Alan Grant an investment? An old friend. Let's go from an old friend. I think we can, let's have him say like, spared no expense, of course. And I think, so, Neron's just mentioned how is Hammond walking. So let's have like, it's then decided by coming, so when Hammond is coming downstairs, like the first thing we hear / see is his walking cane with the amber in the top. Whoa, Neron. Neron, did you mean to use that word? I know, but it's whether or not you are, that's still kind of racist. Dane, do you mind removing that? I know, but you probably should have caught that first.
Well, you see, I can't really do that considering half the time it doesn't appear on my screen until you comment on it, and it just popped up there now.
All right. It was there for a while, actually.
Also, remember, I'm not entirely paying 100% attention to what they're saying, so I have no idea how much references to them saying.
All right.
That's what
No, Neuron. We can't. There's absolutely no way we could ever have something like that. That's just. It is just racist, unfortunately. Anyway. So Hammond has come downstairs and he makes it clear that the raptor has probably come from Alan Grant. Masrani is clearly. I don't want to use the word excited because I feel that's a bit iffy. Enthused. clearly enthused to meet John Hammond in person for the first time, refers to working with Hammond's other workers or talking to Hammond on the phone. Oops.
Bit of tangent, Roger.
Yes?
You don't get the Diplodocus from the British Natural History Museum.
Yes, Dippy the Diplodocus.
Yeah, it's Donald Turr.
Yes, I know. That's why it's no longer in the museum.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't there when we went to London the last time. They replaced it with the blue whale.
I don't know what he's saying. It's in Norwich next, anyway, so I just won't let you know.
It's in Norwich.
Yeah, Norwich Cathedral.
Yeah.
From the 21st of, 13th of July to the 30th of October 2021, it's the Norwich Cathedral.
That's interesting. Okay.
I hate you.
So Masrani makes it clear that he's enthused to be speaking to Hammond for the first time. He's been talking to Hammond on the phone perhaps other times. So are we going to infer that this is when Hammond... Why has Masrani come to see Hammond? Obviously by this time Masrani has already got access to the islands and access to the engine and everything else, so why has Masrani come to see Hammond? Guidance on the park. Okay. Hammond and Masrani sit down for tea and Masrani says that he is here to ask for Hammond's advice. Hammond will ask advice about Mugler, which will surprise Masrani. But Hammond just smiles and makes it clear he still has friends in high places, even after what Peter Ludlow and the rest did. Advice given is don't get eaten. Okay, so then Hammond will explain. Maybe we could have like a flashback of like so let's have like Act 2, like flashback to pre-Jurassic Park, and so we see the visitor center under construction and John Hammond welcoming Dennis Nedry to the center to start his new job. See you later, Predator. So, Act 2, we have a flashback to Jurassic Park under construction. John Hammond welcoming Dennis Nedry to the centre to start his new job. Dennis is at first excited to get started. So the conversation between Masrani and John Hammond is only a year prior to the construction of the park, prior to the construction of Jurassic World being built. So Nedry should be skinny, and then Hammond shows Nedry the vending machine. Moosh, that's kind of cruel. Right, Dennis is at first to get started with the job. Get introduced to Ray Arnold. Ooh, no, let's have I feel like he should first encounter Robert Muldoon. So Hammond gets Robert Muldoon to show Dennis some of the island's inhabitants, as Dennis has no idea about the dinosaurs. And then maybe we could have Rexy show up here. Dennis and Muldoon stop at the Rex paddock, where Rexy is snoozing in the sun. Dennis is clearly a little frightened. Muldoon makes a comment that it's too late to back out now. Nedry makes a comment about not being paid enough to put his life at risk. And Muldoon just smiles and remarks that is what he is there for. Rex eats Nedry. Rexy just hatched. See you later, Evolution. Okay, so Dennis and Muldoon have spoken. Dennis is aware of what's going on the island. Dennis is obviously scared, and Dennis feels like he's not being paid enough. We return to Ms. Rani and Hammond talking. Hammond makes it clear that the park will only ever succeed with the best people behind him. Many more things scarier in Jurassic Park. Ooh, I like that. Teammates going too late to back out now. And there are much more scarier things going on at on the islands. So we return to Masrani and Hammer talking. Hammer makes it clear that the park will only ever succeed with the best people behind him. Maybe Masrani can. Masrani mentions that he needs to know where someone is, and passes Hammond a closed folder. Hammond will open the folder, having a look without us seeing, before he shuts it and looks at Masrani, asking, "Why do you think I know where he is?" Masrani will say that rumor has it that you saved him from any repercussions after Jurassic Park. Hammond will stand and walk away slightly before remarking, what's Wu's first name? I can't remember. Henry, isn't it? It's Henry Wu. Henry Wu is one of the most brilliant minds I ever worked with. However, those islands have a tendency to leave lasting impacts. And Henry was never quite the same after the incident. Laura Sokin from Jurassic Park the game. We could have we could have some of the characters from Jurassic Park the game pop up. Maybe we could have her in the episode with Herrerasaurus. Henry was never quite the same after the incident. However, Hammond passes Masrani a address to find Wu. But Hammond makes it clear that if he is having Wu, Masrani should seek out the others including Ian Malcolm, for his advice. Hammond will lament that he found Malcolm annoying at first, but regrets not listening to the chaoticians' concerns sooner. Should we mention the head of each section from Jurassic World Evolution? We could maybe have them show up as cameos in the documentary crew episode. I feel like we can't have the whole of episode 3 talking about with Hammond and Masrani. So maybe, so Act 3 we go to I feel like at this point we should have because we haven't had any dinosaurs really show up yet either, apart from a young Rexy. Maybe we could have the ACU teams on Isla Sorna trying to track something down. Let's have. Oh, we could have the Herrerasaurus show up at this point. So at 3, Isla Sorna. You have Neron. The Mosasaurus did not come until a lot later. Jurassic World had already been opened by then, so I think it's muddying the waters for that. And I don't think, Moosh, that we should. I'm kind of with what Evo said, that like introducing the other islands in Jurassic World Evolution, it's a bit excessive. Like, I feel having the occasional scene where we go back to Isla Sorna is one thing, but I think having the other islands will just muddy the water a bit. So let's just have Isla Sorna, and let's just so ACU team is hunting down something in the redwood forests.
Blanchard,
Yes.
Nero hit character mode. His entire thing is started with 3 messages. Maybe a reference that John Strickland was too much mistaken for the work he done and said it's good she died because it was her and then asks. But it was, and then it was.
Yeah, no, Neron, I did see the whole thing. Again, I think I don't think I want to make any reference to the Mosasaurus at all. And as far as Jurassic World the game goes, maybe we. I think we can have. We're having the Herrerasaurus from the game, Jurassic World the game. I think that's as much of a throwback to the events of the game as required. I mean, it should be noted that Jurassic World the game muddies the canon quite a bit. So let's just stick with the Herrerasaurus. So ACU team is hunting down something in the redwood forests. We only ever see flashes of a scarlet red mottled animal. Eventually the ACU team finds... Could they find something on Isla Sorna from the Lost World? Where are the Herrerasauruses going to be living?
My piece is getting a little bit on sheet done by 9.
Oh wow. 58, you're amazing. I'm just trying to think of other places that we see on Isla Sorna. The overturned truck from JP3. Oh yeah, we could do maybe. Oh, maybe we could have the airfield actually. The airfield from JP3, and maybe there could be like in the background somewhere a chunk of the aircraft from JP3. Finds the airfield from JP3 still with a piece of the aircraft on the field. It's overgrown. The team spreads out, and then how many Herrerasaurus? 2, 3, 4? Or should this be like a Herrerasaurus nest? Aloe just says yes. Two Herrera. Let's have 2 Herreras, and it's a Herrera nest. And then 2 Herreras jump into view. The ACU team find that they have stumbled into a Herrerasaurus nest. Herrera nest with a dead raptor in it. Ooh. There is a dead raptor in the nest. Clearly having been brought back as food for young. So shall we have like the Herreras have already hatched, so they're young? And I feel like there's an opportunity here for us to go one of 2 ways. We could have the ACU team gun down the 2 adult Herreras and take the young. Or we could have the ACU team render the 2 adult Herreras unconscious and take the young as well as a family group. I feel like there's 2 ways that this could go, really. One ACU guy should die. Or get very injured. Okay, so maybe ACU team stands off against the Herreras, who are not attacking. One of the ACU guys wants to kill the adults and steal the young, but the leader makes it clear that Masrani wants the family and as many of the assets alive as possible. The other ACU guy eventually loses his cool, tries to kill one of the Herreras, and ends up being attacked and seriously injured. The other guys knock out the adults and take the babies with them. So we have like the Cyrano trips, falls, get knowledged. He deserves it. Leave the... Oh, I love that idea, Moosh. Leave the injured one behind. The really... that maybe there could be like a loud roar. Then we hear the Spinosaurus roar. And the ACU team legs it. While the leader makes it clear he is leaving the injured guy behind. And we watch the injured guy looking more and more scared as something loud and Spinosaurus sounding walks towards him. Ends with screen going black and Spinosaurus roar. I like that. His screams are drowned out by roars. Spinosaurus roars. Okay, so it's 9:30, so we'll be going for 2.5 hours, so I'm going to stop it here. But we have we've managed to make 3 episodes up, and I think this is going quite well here. I think we've got some good ideas here for this little show of ours. I think we're doing really well. I will definitely continue this on. So we've got another 6 episodes to plan, 7 episodes to plan. So we will definitely continue this on. Maybe I'll do another stream at some point in the week to carry this on. But for the time being, I want to thank everyone who's joined in here to give me ideas. And we even got Evo to join in as well. So that's good. That was fun. But yeah, thank you everyone for your ideas. I'll see you in the next stream. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any ideas for episodes, leave them in the comments section for this on this stream, and I'll keep an eye on them. I want to thank Dane for moderating, and don't forget to keep watching our videos and keep suggesting us to anyone who might want to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.